It's your boy ACV, aka Light Skin Baka. You already know what it is, man. Even aka your boy ACV. I'm here with another reaction just for something of my personal interest. I hope y'all fuck with it. Basically, I'm gonna react to this new theory video that Ohara just dropped. And in case you don't know, Ohara is really one of my favorite OP YouTubers. Just probably one of my favorite YouTubers, period. He always comes in clutch with the crazy theories. Him and more just always analyze shit so well. He definitely has future sights. Keep spamming it. He just spams future sight. But still, anyway, he dropped a new video and it's on Sabo and Vivi and Dragon, and I have not watched it at all, period. So I was waiting for this. It's 15 minutes long. Might just have to cut it, you know what I mean? Cut the little bits where I talk. Might keep the whole thing. Depends how it goes. But anyway, we finna talk shit. We finna get fucking enlightened by Ohara. Let's get it. Oh damn, I ain't clicked the right spot.
What do you think about Sabo and what has happened to him? What if I told you that he's bringing Vivi and the revolutionaries to Luffy right this moment? That he will be more...
I guess before I even have to say it, I didn't even realize. Definitely, anime watchers, I think there's gonna be some spoilers from at least the last two chapters of the manga, because I do think what happened is two things happened, or we got more information about some things. So I have a feeling it might spoil, it might get onto it, but we never know, because you know these videos take a lot of time to make, and he probably made it before at least 10:36 or at least 10:30.
important to the story than Ace, and that I've actually shed a tear while writing the script. Actually, on second thought, don't answer that last one. Okay, real talk for a second. As you know, the reason I love One Piece so much is not because of the fights or the powers or even the world building. All of these are absolutely fantastic, no question about it. But to me, what...
Because of Zoro. Zoro's the only reason. Feel this is some Zoro ASMR. I can't hear it because I don't have my feedback on my headphones, so I don't know. I have no idea how that sounds.
One Piece, above other great works of fiction, is its out-of-this-world character writing. Not only does the story have one of the biggest cast of characters ever, but pretty much every single one of them has their own personality, development, and purpose in the story. Yep. Everyone feels like they belong into this world, and each and every one of them does their part to make One Piece the epic adventure it
No cap.
is. Which brings me back to Sabo. I've wanted to talk about Sabo for a while now because, in a weird way, he seems to be the odd one out here.
Right.
Not just for me, but many others as well. The Amnesia plotline was not very well received. I mean, you can't tell me Sabo never saw an image of Ace in a newspaper before. And in many ways, Sabo's only role can easily be mistaken as a replacement for Ace.
True. Also, Ace's Devil Fruit, top 5 in this series.
At this point in the story, if nothing else happened with him, I would go so far as to call him the only bad character in the story, because he doesn't really seem to contribute to Luffy's story. However, and this is where this video finally turns positive, I finally realized that by thinking this way, I might not only have judged Sabo's role in the story extremely prematurely, but even worse, I probably have actually drastically underestimated the potential Sabo has for Luffy and the endgame of the story overall. Hi, my name is Manu, and as an older brother myself, I think I've finally figured out what Sabo's character is all about, what has happened to him during the reverie, and what role he has to play at the end of the story. I was surprised how late in the story Sabo was actually introduced.
Right?
The first time we learn about his existence is during Luffy's flashback after the end of Marineford.
A lot of people always say, we got the flashback too late. We got the flashback after Marineford. Ace's death would have hit more. If we would have... man, shut the fuck up.
I've seen a lot of people speculate that Oda just wrote Sabo into the story at that point on a whim.
Probably
but I'm convinced that Sabo was part of Oda's plans right from the start, which is also why I'm not worried at all about him being a character with no purpose. Here is just some of the early foreshadowing by Oda. His first possible appearance might have been in chapter 99, where we see someone looking suspiciously like Sabo in the crowd as Buggy plans to
now he
execute
reaching.
Luffy. This would actually make further sense because it is also
Never
Dragon's
mind.
first appearance in the
Never
story.
mind.
Next, we have the flashback of Luffy and Ace sharing sake to become brothers. And as you can see in the top left corner, there is a third cup just...
Okay, my bad. Just about the whole Logtown fucking buggy fucking Luffy execution scene. You know, it's a scene everybody brings up, but they don't bring up that panel. They bring up the other panel where you see the big crowd from the back, and then you see somebody in a top hat and everything that looks like Sabo. And I'm just curious why he didn't use it there. I don't know, like, 'cause that's usually what everybody references. That's what looks, you know. And I even think the bubble. When you see that panel, that's the bubble where you see the Navy saying there's 3 fugitives or 3 people who are sort of like 3 pirates or 3 people that the Marines must capture. And obviously at first everybody think it's Alvida, Buggy, and Luffy, but you know, the theories are it's actually Luffy, Sabo, and Dragon, you know, because obviously Dragon was there, and like that's probably when they figured out. They're like, okay, like the 2 heads of the revolutionary army are there. So, but yeah, this is the first time I see that panel, the front of the crowd looking at the execution and like seeing that person in a sort of top hat. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird. I wonder why he used that and not the other one.
Another hint that hit me really hard when I realized what it meant was Ace's tattoo that we first get to see in Alabasta. At first glance, it looks like he found himself the world's worst tattoo artist that managed to misspell Ace with an S. But then we see Sabo set out to sea. It's not a strike-through as after all. Ace has literally tattooed Sabo's Jolly Roger on his arm as a tribute.
Ayo, what? I always thought that X was because Sabo died. Like, you know, like I thought he X out because that's what I didn't know was his Jolly Rant. What?
From the last time he saw his brother before seeing him die at the hands of the Celestial Dragons. Gotta be real, I teared up a little bit when I heard that first time. I hope you agree that most likely Sabo was always part of Oda's plan. But what then is his purpose in the story? Is it merely being a replacement for Ace? And the answer to that is kinda, but not really, but definitely in a good way. Okay, so Sabo actually has 3 important roles in the story. For the first of these, we have to go back all the way to Luffy's childhood. Sabo shaped both Luffy and Ace into the great pirates that they later would become. Ace, suffering under his heritage, was always in a very dark place. It was only thanks to Sabo that he was able to find someone he could truly trust and forget his worries with. On top of this, Sabo served as the relaxed and positive moderator between him and Luffy, as both were very headstrong and impulsive. In my opinion, Sabo might well be part of the reason Luffy is so incredibly tolerant towards everyone. Even though they were living in poverty in the shadow of the nobles, Sabo, who was a noble himself, was just another friend and brother to Luffy. It taught our protagonist that a person is made by their actions and not by their heritage. Even better, since Sabo was well educated, he most likely contributed most of the knowledge that Luffy and Ace got as children. But most importantly, Sabo was one of the key factors that inspired both Luffy and Ace to become great pirates. Shanks was definitely a major driver for Luffy as well. However, I feel like it is this scene here, when Luffy learns about Sabo's death for the very first time, where a lot of Luffy's ideals and even his big dream can be traced back to. Luffy realizing that Sabo tried to become a pirate in order to find happiness.
You should go, baby. Tear up.
Basically the premise for each and every one of his crewmates. He finds great people that, just like Sabo, have been in incredibly dark spots their entire life, and gives them true freedom and happiness by making them pirates of his crew. Luffy really goes out of his way to pull people out of their darkness because of Sabo's death, and how he and Ace did not realize it, did not try to help him escape his terrible family. This is of course also connected to Ace's death, where Luffy now feels as if he had failed to save not only one, but 2 brothers. And it's exactly that subtext that makes Luffy's reunion with Sabo so special.
Man, I remember when both of those chapters drop, man. Like in Dressrosa, like I forget what's the number, but the first one, I think the chapter ends with just this shadow talking to Luffy, and then everyone's like, "Yo, who is this?" And then you see Sabo next, bro. Oh, damn, what a scene!
Now, the only arc where Sabo had a chance to showcase his current personality so far is Dressrosa. A big criticism I always hear is that Sabo is basically just Ace 2.0, and in a way, these people have a point. Both of them have similar cool older brother vibes. Both are powerful members of two of the most influential groups in the story. And both go out of their way to make sure that Luffy can go his own way. Like Sabo actually eats Ace's devil fruit and uses some of his moves.
Yup. Bro.
However, if you have taken away anything from the many analysis videos I've made on One Piece so far, you will know that Sabo unites two important themes Oda uses. Will, as well as the concept of two sides of the same coin, where most elements of post-timeskip One Piece are mirrored and inverted.
By the way, those 2 points, especially the last one, come from this Japanese OP tuber that Manu exposed us to. His name is Uteron, hella dope.
Of the pre-time skip. I think it's no coincidence then that Sabo appears in Dressrosa, the arc that mirrors Alabasta in the first half of the Grand Line, where Ace made his first appearance as well. Both arcs serve as setup for Luffy's relationship with his older brothers. That way, Oda could set up Ace's capture at Marineford and whatever has happened to Sabo at the Reverie. I'll get into that in a moment. But to me, saying that these two characters are the same is just not true. Both
Facts,
have their
100%.
distinct personalities and differences.
Yes, sir.
And even strength-wise, Sabo seems a lot more capable than Ace. He wields the Mera Mera no Mi easily right after eating it, is able to face off with an admiral, and in this scene right here, I'm pretty sure he uses Ryo to split the platform. A real beast.
That was better control of Ryo than even what Rayleigh showed us. Because what Rayleigh showed us was just pushing back the elephant. You know what I mean? Like, and that was hard, but like, this man was like, bro, the way he just channeled that hockey and like how it was spread out, even, bro, that crazy.
Both have their distinct emotional baggage. While Ace feels unwanted and hated by the world, Sabo blames himself for not being there for Ace and Luffy when they needed him the most. In his fight against the Marines, he seems to go a little bit psycho for a while until you realize that he is just very emotional and trying to protect Luffy no matter what. That, or he's just very ecstatic about having subscribed to this channel for more One Piece content every
Y'all go ahead and
y'all do that. Sabo becomes a little bit more like Ace when eating the Mera Mera no Mi, even sharing the same lines as Ace.
Fire in the chat, in the motherfucking comment shit, just for the Zoro smile. Period.
Now, this could simply be a representation of Sabo inheriting Ace's will to watch over Luffy. But as I've speculated in my video on Devil Fruits here, it might very well be that Devil Fruits themselves store a bit of their previous owner's personality inside them. What really stands out to me though, is the moment that Luffy realizes Sabo is alive and all that Sabo tries to do is lessen Luffy's own burden for not having saved Ace. He actually thanks Luffy for being alive like 3 or 4 times, making sure that Luffy doesn't have any more survivor's guilt about Marineford. And speaking of Marineford, there is one really interesting detail there that I think you might like. You of course know that Akainu's real name is actually Sakazuki. But what you might not know is that Sakazuki has an actual meaning in Japanese. The reason his true name is so jarring is that Sakazuki is the Japanese word for a pact of brotherhood over sake cups, which is exactly exactly what Ace, Sabo, and Luffy did to signify their brotherly bond. Well, when you think about it for a second, it actually really fits. While Akainu does kill Ace and takes one Sake Cup brother away from Luffy, Ace's death also cures Sabo's amnesia, giving the other Sake Cup brother back to him and passes his will onto Sabo. Sabo even stated that he felt Ace's spirit lift the fog in his mind as a way of guaranteeing that Luffy always had at least one brother looking out for him. And of course, it might foreshadow Akainu being involved with Sabo at some point in the story as well. So up to this point, I believe that Sabo has already contributed a lot to Luffy and to the story overall. But I personally think that the most important part of his arc is yet to come. And that brings us into the realm of speculation about what has happened at Marijo.
Okay, so I think this is the point where anime watchers only are probably gonna have to, because it's it's a big revelation.
One possibility is, of course, that Sabo has been killed. That would fit in with a theory I made about Kobe inheriting the Mera Mera no Mi, but even if Sabo were to die at some point, it surely wouldn't be off-screen. Another much more likely possibility, I think, is that Sabo has been captured and is about to be executed. Now, while this would admittedly be a little bit too similar to Ace's fate, it would give Luffy the chance to actually save a brother from the government this time, which I don't hate. However, I personally think that Oda is trying to trick us into believing one or the other. My personal favorite idea is that the government has taken out the King of Alabasta Cobra and also tried to get rid of Vivi in the process. This is supported by Imu picking her image during the reverie, and I think it would be quite likely that Sabo would have gone out of his way to save Vivi just as he saved Rebecca on Dressrosa and running away with her. As a result, the government could have blamed Cobra's death on Sabo, but would still want to keep the news from spreading that a revolutionary was able to infiltrate and escape Marijoa without being caught, which I think would also explain all the shocked reactions to the newspaper. Remember this scene? Sabo has a Vivre card of Luffy, and Vivi is bound to return to the crew at some point. So if both of them escape together from Marijoa and Sabo can sense Luffy's Vivre card burning up during his fight on Wano, it would make sense for the pair to make their way towards the Straw Hats, maybe even bringing the rest of the Revolutionary Army along to battle the Marines coming to Wano as well. However, Sabo reuniting with Luffy would have an additional meaning as well. Remember how all his attacks are dragon-based? Well, Sabo is literally the right hand of Dragon himself. And we know that Luffy has no relationship with his father whatsoever. However, Sabo was raised by Dragon instead, and he grew up with Luffy, so who better to bring these two together than Luffy's older brother? And one thing I would really love to see is Sabo and Luffy visiting Ace's grave together at the end of the story. Or, if Luffy should make it, Sabo visiting both of their graves next to each other.
No, hell no.
Why, but just thinking about that scene at the end of One Piece already puts
I'm gonna...
If you don't want to cry now and rather learn why devil fruits may have a will of their own, and why Sabo might have inherited Ace's will by eating his devil fruit, just click right on my face.
Alright, so first of all, shout out O'Hara for this crazy video. Turns out anime only watches, you guys are fine. And I won't talk about the reason why that's relevant, but clearly he released this because it's hella relevant right now. Wano's about to end in the manga. But yeah, I definitely see Sabo getting framed for somebody dying at the reverie. Is Cobra dead? I hope not. Definitely Vivi is obviously not dead. I know in the reverie it really made it seem like, what happened to Vivi? I definitely see Sabo kidnapping Vivi. The Nefertiti are the only family from the Void Century who didn't align with the other celestial dragons, so it was just a matter of time before they target her. Yeah, no, you know what, but I did, even though I wasn't expecting it, I did like the character background information, or just analyzing the character development or the possibility of a character development for Sabo. He's definitely, I don't hate Sabo at all. There's so much Sabo hate on Twitter. I really like him, even though we've only spent a few minutes with him. I can't wait to see how he masters the Mera Mera no Fruit. It's gonna be lit. Yeah, no, shout out to Sabo. Shout out to Manu, aka O'Hara. I'll put the original one right there in the bio. Just go run that up. And yeah, that's it, man. Follow me on socials. Y'all already know what it is. ACV Light Skin Baka. Y'all already know what it is. Go stream the music. Peace.